Let's go inside the mind of Stephen Miller just for a second here, because every time I hear him railing against undocumented immigrants, not just violent criminals, but people picking crops or bussing tables, going to college, people he believes are dragging down America.
Let's be very clear. What would Los Angeles look like without illegal aliens? Here's what it would look like. You would be able to see a doctor in the emergency room right away, no wait.
I keep asking myself, where does this even come from? So I started to do some digging. Before we get into Stephen Miller's past, let's look at him today. And welcome to Angela Gets Answers. I'm Angela. And who knows what drives Stephen Miller better than his current boss, President Donald Trump? According to the New York Times, Trump once joked that if it were up to Miller, there'd only be 100 million people in America and they'd all look like him. The Trump White House denied that Trump ever said that. But then I found this Univision story that traces Miller all the way back to his childhood in California. He grew up in Santa Monica, a liberal area. His parents Jewish, who ran a real estate business. But Miller, according to a childhood friend, Miller told him that he could not be friends with him anymore because he's Latino. By high school, classmates say he had few friends, none of them non-white, in California, and he mocked Latino and Asian students still learning English. In his yearbook, he actually posted this: "There can be no 50-50 Americanism in this country." And during a student government speech,
anyone who is sick and tired of being told to pick up my trash, and we have plenty of janitors who are paid to do it for.
According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, Miller started working with far-right groups in college at Duke, and then they got their hands on some leaked emails a little bit later in his life showing that Miller was circulating articles from white nationalist sites and hyping fears of immigrants replacing white people. Then he co-founded America First Legal. They filed a brief to shut down grants for black female entrepreneurs, calling them unconstitutional. The CEO of the Fearless Fund explained they had to end that program rather than face a long drawn-out court hearing.
Why not go to the Supreme Court? Well, I think the writing is already on the walls with their current rulings, that a Supreme Court ruling that were to take place not in our favor, this would have shut us down out of business, but every single minority-based funding program for women as a whole sex and people of color as a whole.
So what's going on inside Stephen Miller's mind? Let him tell you.
President Trump has fought the cancerous, communist, woke culture that was destroying this country.
Or maybe, once again, Trump said it best. If Miller had his way, there'd only be 100 million Americans, all of them who look just like him. The White House once again denies that. But either way, Miller's ideas on immigration, DEI aren't just opinions. They're actually turning into real policies. And that's why we're digging into their heads. Because if you don't know the players, you get played by the game. And coming up, we're going inside the mind of AOC and her gamble on the Epstein scandal.